Human scale teams use Tailscale to build trusted networks. Tailscale Funnel is a great way to share a local service with your team for collaboration, testing, and experimentation. Funnel securely exposes your dev environment at a stable URL, complete with auto-provisioned TLS certificates. Use it from the command line or the new VS Code extensions. In a few keystrokes, you can securely expose a local port to the internet right from the IDE. I did this in a talk I gave at Tailscale Up, their first inaugural developer conference. I used it to present my slides and only revealed that that's what I was doing at the end of it. It's awesome. It works. Check it out. Their free plan now includes 3 users and 100 devices. Try it out at snark.cloud/Tailscale podcast. Hello and welcome to Last Week in AWS, the podcast edition. Last week was exciting. AWS is announcing a new price hike, and they had the New York Summit. You could be forgiven for attending the New York Summit as your first AWS event and believing as a result that AWS was strictly a company that wound up doing generative AI work and didn't really offer anything else like databases or networks or compute. This is unfortunately a messaging mistake on their part, as they're scrambling to go to the exact same places that every other major tech company is, only without the compelling story to tell about it to make customers pay attention. Now let's see what they got up to last week. The new Amazon Chime 5 on Windows, macOS, and web is coming soon from the Amazon Chime Help Center. And this is a big deal for the only Amazon Chime customer who doesn't work at Amazon, me. I can't wait to see how well it works. Access and Query are now generally available for Amazon Managed Blockchain. In scam-related news, this is probably an exciting feature for this service's sole customer. Unlike Chime, that customer is absolutely not me. AWS Lambda adds support for Python 3.11. This is a welcome change from their previously incredibly slow process. It's somewhat suspicious that the older 3.8 runtime deprecates on the first day of reInvent. Apparently, AWS doesn't want people paying attention to the conference this year. AWS Entity Resolution. Match and link related records from multiple applications and data stores. This sounds like an awesome service, and I know just the customer that desperately needs it, the AWS events team. See, every time I attend a webinar, summit, reInvent, Mixer, DrinkUp, or similar event, I get slapped with a 17-question mandatory form. First name, last name, company, how big we are, what we do, how we're using AWS, etc. A forward-thinking service like this could really improve the customer experience, as well as helping announcements like this not present as hypocrisy. Sure, it's good enough for you schmucks, but we know better. Ha, remember that time when we told you data was the future and you bought that too? New Amazon EC2 P5 instances powered by NVIDIA H10 Tensor Core GPUs for accelerating generative AI and HPC applications. They only come in one size and are $98.32 an hour in Virginia. The 5 stands for how many kidneys you'll have to sell to run one of these puppies. They also are reportedly super in demand. New AWS Public IPv4 address charge and Public IP Insights. AWS will be raising your AWS bill starting in 6 months. There's never been a better time to yell at people about IPv6 support. Preview. Enable foundation models to complete tasks with agents for Amazon Bedrock. If you implement this into your customer service workflow and you include lengthy pauses to pretend an actual human is typing, I hope your favorite Google product gets canceled. Migrating AWS Lambda functions from the Go1.x runtime to the custom runtime on Amazon Linux 2. The Golang runtime finds itself, in a twist of fate that's somehow very fitting, Googled. Introducing Smithy for Python. Back when this was Java only, I didn't care. Now that it's in Python, I would care, except I'm too busy resolving dependencies in order to get my project working. This episode is brought to us in part by our friends at Callisti. Introducing Callisti. With integrated observability, Callisti provides a single pane of glass for accelerated root cause analysis and remediation. It can set, track, and ensure compliance with service level objectives. Callisti provides secure application connectivity and management from data center to cloud, making it the perfect solution for businesses adopting cloud-native microservice-based architectures. If you're running Apache Kafka, Callisti offers a turnkey solution with automated operations, seamless integrated security, high availability, disaster recovery, and observability. So you can easily standardize and simplify microservice security, observability, and traffic management. Simplify your cloud-native operations with Callisti. Learn more about Callisti at callisti.app. Introducing AWS Health Scribe. Automatically generate clinical notes from patient-clinician conversations using AWS Health Scribe. Along with health imaging, this is a prime example of AWS's industry vertical approach. Slap an industry name on a barely differentiated version of a baseline service. Trouble is, customers are sophisticated when it comes to their specific industries, and they aren't fooled. Virtually every previous incarnation of this pattern lands well with the tech press and the analyst firms, but actual customers pan them. Analyze rodent infestation using Amazon SageMaker geospatial capabilities. It's pretty clear that when it comes to SageMaker's overzealous marketing, even the computer itself can smell a rat. AWS reaffirms its commitment to responsible generative AI. Their primary example of this commitment is only releasing their generative AI offerings to individual customers in private previews. What some would call being late to the party, they recast as responsibility. And finally, Amazon SageMaker Canvas announces some things I am not going to tell you about. See, over a year ago, SageMaker cranked up a per-session charge 8 months after I'd last played with it and deleted all my resources. Now, that gouged me for $260 of AWS credits that were never refunded. I've replaced the link in the show notes for this item to my blog post explaining that situation in detail. As a result, I equate the service to scam and refuse to legitimize it by telling you all about what it can or cannot do now, because it can absolutely slap you with a surprise $2,000 a month bill per user who tries it anywhere in your AWS organization. AWS SageMaker still owes me $260. And that's the news that happened last week in AWS. I'm cloud economist Corey Quinn. Stick around.